focus. It's focus, persistence, perseverance. If you don't have that, you're lost, because you really need to have your process down packed and follow it every single day. It's repeating.
Because of the fact that we treat them as friends and family, they treat us the same way. And friends and family know that, we may have a bad day, and that's sometimes okay, right?
Yeah. If you're not investing in your wealth, in your life, for your retirement, because we're 1099. Yes, we can write off and everything else, but you need to invest in your retirement.
Live from New York. Welcome to the Selling Empire Podcast. Your source for the latest real estate tips, tricks, and insights from the top producers in the industry. Whether you are new to real estate or a seasoned agent, don't miss your chance to learn from guests who have broken the mold and achieved massive success. Get ready to level up your game. Let's get started.
And we're live.
All right.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome, Celinda.
Oh, good morning. Thank you for having me, my men of Westchester.
been looking forward to this interview for a little while, so really glad you can make.
You're lucky you got me on live video.
Well, for listeners that are tuning into this show, this actually took us about half an hour to set up, just to get all the cameras ready and the audio going. So a lot of work that goes into this.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but Celinda, we know you know us, but our audience may not know who you are and your story. So why don't you just dive right into that? Who are you and why are you here?
Who am I? I'm Celinda Iaboni, but first was Celinda Carrera. I'm a broker of record of New York. I've been a broker since 2004 for myself. I started real estate back in 1997 as a real estate agent in foreclosures. And I went to RE/MAX, and then from RE/MAX to Real, where I've been till current, and I love it. That's who I am.
When did you join Real?
I joined Real 2006. I really believe it's 2015, but they have me listed as 2016 because I went back into real estate in the year of 2015. So I was kind of checking everybody out, seeing if I was going to go back to RE/MAX, but Real approached me and I went to meet the men over there, which was, do you remember Gall? Was his name Gall? All the first people that were involved with Real, and I can't think of the names right now because I'm having one of those brain farts. But and then I met Tamir, and Steve Caravelli. I don't know if you remember Steve Caravelli. I think you're later than that, but yeah. And I fell in love with it because I was looking for something different. I always believed in always looking at the future, and the future was technology. And they sold me from the moment I said hello. So it was great. Awesome.
So Celinda is one of the original OGs from Rio. So.
OGs.
One
of the few agents that we know that joined before us, right?
Very few in between now.
Yeah, but I'd love to get to your story of today and the now. But just take a step back. How do you get started in real estate? Like, what made you take that step?
Oh, Lord, that's a good one. Well, I was from college. I went into being a traffic manager for an international company. And then I, of course, got engaged. My husband wanted to have his own business because his family came from business. They always had either delis or pizzerias. And I said, I want to do that. So I stopped that and went there. And then I sold my business. And then I went to see my cousins in Florida, which is the Carrera family. And they had a mortgage and they had a real estate brokerage. And they said, Celinda, you have our mind, you have our skill set. You need to go back home and get into real estate. And that's exactly what I did. I went and I got my license and I became a realtor.
You got a little push from the family.
Oh, yeah, for the family. Yeah. My Hispanic family, my culture. They're like, entrepreneurs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I would say there's definitely something about, first getting started, but then actually sticking with it for so many years and actually doing it. And for you, you've been doing it for quite a while. So what has kept you engaged and really in the business?
Okay. So I did leave for a fraction of a minute, or whatever you want to call it. From 1997 all the way to about 2006, I think I had closed my last deal right before the everything busted. And it was horrible because we already knew that what was happening before 2008 crash, the 2007-8 crash. And I left the business. I didn't want to do, anything with foreclosures. I knew that's where it was heading. I started with foreclosures, so I know that gamut was very emotional for me, for dealing with families that were going through crisis. And I'm a very emotional person, so I kind of stepped back from it. And my broker was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And I said, "You know what? I just want to see how I'll do with another, whether it was teaching." I went into teaching and that kind of stuff, but I came back because my old broker from Remax was like, "Come back, sit with me, let's talk, let's get you back in." And I was like, I don't know. And then I finally met Real, and that's where I started. I was more excited. I went into Manhattan. I was like, "Oh yes, this is the feeling. This is what I want." I love real estate. I love people. I love connecting. So I started being there, and then I was just engaged in doing that on a constant basis. I just love not only making money. It's not about making money. It's making that connection, helping that family find that home, and then the referral basis. And that's what I live on, is referrals.
Of course.
So
tell us, how did you get that first transaction, right? So you started because your family told you should. But how did you go from, okay, I'm going to get my license, to now, how do I get my first client?
I'm an oldie, so I went into the office and I literally sat in that office. Nobody does that anymore. Now we're all cloud-based. Everybody's la, la, la. They don't hate to go into the office, but I went in every single day, and I had 3 children at that time, 3. And they were all young ages. I can't even remember what their age was. I think it was 2, 4, and 6. And I went in every single day. I would drop them off, get into the office, and get my leads, and I would work them. I'd have a mortgage person that was around us at that time. His name was Chris, and he would vet them, and I would be out there. And investors would come in, because you got to understand, I started with foreclosures. That's where was my niche then. And then at that time, which was 97, 98, 2000, there were a lot of foreclosures, and I loved it. It was like easy peasy for me. And I was in Brentwood, Central Islip, Bayshore. I was in the Suffolk hood, Gordon Heights, Wyandotte. I loved it. I didn't mind, so I went with my investors, and I was just loving it. So that's how I started. I didn't start with my my sphere. Everybody talks about the surrounding sphere. I didn't. I was in the office every day, even with the kids, picking them up wherever and bringing them in. I was in the office.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think it goes into just, work ethic and making it happen.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of newer agents really focus on trying to say buy leads or being handed in the leads and not really putting in the work that needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just mentioned a word that my mother always used. Focus. It's focus, persistence, perseverance. If you don't have that, you're lost, because you really need to have your process down packed and follow it every single day. It's repeating, just like a teacher. I was a teacher for autistic children. It's the repetition. You have to repeat the process. Sometimes it's boring. Yeah, of course it's boring. Who wants to make those phone calls? But it's repetition, because out of those 500 calls, you're definitely going to get at least 10%, right or wrong?
No, for sure.
Okay.
And I don't know the saying or the metaphor, but what I always hear is that when you're a basketball fan, a sports fan, all you're seeing is the players playing the game, at the time that it kind of counts, the highlights. But you're not seeing all the training, all the hard work that goes behind it that got them to the court.
Exactly.
Thousands and thousands of hours.
Exactly.
Dribbling that ball for basketball. I used to be a basketball player. I was a soccer player. I was a soccer coach. It's that dribbling. It's that doing constantly, throwing it in. You have to do that until you get excellent. That's how you become judge. You become, DeGrom. So it's important. You got to put in the work. Oh, here I go. I'm getting animated. Sorry.
No, do it.
All right. So we talked about your first transaction, how you got in. So what happened next? How did you take that first client and grow your business?
Oh my God. I remember that first client too. He was my investor, big time. He used to buy at least, no joke, 5 houses at a clip.
Wow.
From there, because my broker back then, Juan Garcia, he's still around. We still keep in touch. He was like, girl, I can't believe it. And I used to leave my children with him. I'm like, here are my kids. Give me 1 hour and I'll be back. I'll have contracts, offers signed. But I'm sorry, I lost myself there for a second. You said, how did I take it to that next level? Or
yeah, how did you grow your?
He just kept on feeding me. He just kept on feeding me leads because he knew I was I hate this word, hustler.
I mean, it's right here.
Right, exactly. It's a humble hustler. That's exactly. I love that. That's a better word than a hustler because that's how he used to call me. He's like, girl, a mother of 3, didn't matter. Here's my kids. And, that's hard to do. A lot of mothers out there, and I'm sure they'll understand. It's not easy leaving your child with somebody. But my broker, I trusted. And I was like, you go anywhere, I swear, I'll find you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. He loved feeding me leads.
Yeah, but I don't think he was feeding you leads. I think you earned them. I think he saw the work ethic and the dedication that he had.
Yeah, absolutely. What I do too for my agents, as I had my team when I started with Real, also with my agents now, all you guys. I mean, and girls, I do. If I have a lead, I'll send it out to you. Give you a call. You know that, Felix and Aneury.
I think we've closed.
Exactly. I believe if I can't handle it and I trust you and I know that you put in that work and you're doing, being a top agent or whatever, a lead, whatever they call it, you're great at a great agent, I'll send it to you because I'll know you'll close that deal.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that goes into sort of for all teams, for all brokers, just anybody, is that abundance mentality in that not being afraid to, rely on your team members and really working with them in terms of that mutual growth.
Right, exactly. It's all about networking. It's all about the process. And if you learn the process and you find a connection with our network of agents that we have throughout the states, throughout, Canada and the States. I mean, that connection that we have, and I seen it at One Real. It just, that was phenomenal when I seen it. That you can actually, we're all the same like mind person, people, which is beautiful.
And again, I just wanted to highlight that for folks that don't know, Celinda is the broker of record for New York State for Real. She has how many agents, Celinda? We're working on?
Currently, we have 230. 230.
Yeah. Wow. So that is 230 agents working for Celinda right now. That rely on her.
That rely on
a
me.
lot of personalities to keep track of.
Oh my gosh, to keep track of, to actually be the babysitter of. No, I'm kidding. I love you all.
And this is the point I'm trying to make, is that you mentioned she may not be actively in the field in production, but she is the glue, the process, the systems that's holding everybody else, right?
All of us together, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm still in production, Bubba. I'm still working. I'm still hustling out there.
There you go. There you go.
Just so that you know that. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah. So tell us about that a little more. Let's know.
No. I mean, listen, I'm not making the numbers that I used to be, but I still can bring the number that I could do while I'm in working as your broker. I love selling. You know, if I had to sell this pen, you see, real pen, I could sell it. Even a peanut. Even my son is like that too. It's just funny. Somebody had actually met him and said, my God, he's like a duplicate, but he never got into real estate. But what I'm saying is that I can't get it out of my system because I love it. I love helping people. And when you love something, when you have a passion for something, you're going to exceed. You know, you're going to go through your down points, your up points, but you can't ever give up because there is a house for every family that is in need. There's a need out there, and we need to facilitate that need. We need to help them. That's the golden rule. What's the golden rule? Okay. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. I live by that every single day. Whether I'm down or up, doesn't matter. That is my.
Yeah, no. And I think you hit on something key there. Mm-hmm. Not once have you right now, and what you just mentioned, talked about commissions, making money, any of that, which is great. I think, you know, we're all here. We all need to pay bills. But you really highlighted on helping people and doing unto others what you want done unto you. Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact quote,
no,
but
that's it. That's it in a nutshell.
But misquoting everything.
But overall, it's, you know, you're there helping, and by helping, it's gained you more business, it's gained you more traction, and it's gotten you to where you are today. And again, I think, you know, you mentioned you're in production. It shows that you're also leading the team by example. And everything that we say to our agents, to our peers, you know, you're out there actually doing it.
Right. And I try. I really do try my best. Sometimes I feel like I'm a school teacher yelling at children. And I don't want to do that. That's why I try to be
well, sometimes you need to.
Well, yes, sometimes you have to. But I don't want to because I just feel like this little viejita that's always screaming at the children, let's go, you know, enter this, get the deals done, blah, blah, blah. And it shouldn't be that way. You need to want to love. You need to want to do this, to love to do this. Right. It's like serving, just like I served in my church. I taught religion for 20 years. You know, it's the service of being a human being to another human being that's in need. Because really, honestly, they're there to help you, right? Help you make money, help your family, grow your business. And then you're helping them to find their home, to find their love, their generational wealth, their being, to leave to their children. So these are all a process of to serve others. And that's what I believe in wholeheartedly.
No, that's a great message for everyone. I mean, we always try to lead with that, right? We treat everyone as a friend, as a family, right, not necessarily as a client, right? So we're always advising, we're always trying to look out for their best benefit versus just getting that sale.
Exactly.
And I think that's how we've been able to make those connections and been able to get those referrals down the line is because we treat them, even if we drop the ball here and there.
Right, and we do. We're human.
Which we all do, yeah. You know, because of the fact that we treat them as friends and family, they treat us the same way. And friends and family know that, you know, we may have a bad day, and that's sometimes okay, right?
Yeah, yeah. Especially, I remember the time that you said, I'm leaving my job, a very highly professional, paid well job, and you were like, do I do it or not? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. You can do this. Right? I was your cheerleader. I'm like, yes, you can do this.
It's actually exactly a year now that we left. Oh, that I left.
You left first.
I took the first plunge. You know,
test the waters.
Tested the waters. I didn't have any. He had kids to feed.
I know.
And, you know, insurance that he needed to pay.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's scary to make that change. I remember calling Tamir, speaking to Tamir. Back then, I was able to. I had no idea we were only 200 agents. But back then, I'd be like, Tamir, I'm leaving. Finally, I worked because I had everything, the pipeline filled. And I was like, here it is. I'm leaving. And my husband looked at me and said, are you crazy? You're going to do this all over again? I'm like, yes. I cannot do W-2. I cannot take anybody dictating to me. I need to make my money and help people. And that's where it was. Yeah. So kudos to you.
And I think that played a big part in us wanting to leave, right? We fell in love with the process, the helping of people. Yeah. And that's why when we were at our jobs, they were great, 10-year careers in corporate. We've met a lot of good people during our jobs, but that whole corporate structure is not for everyone. And
it was a comfortable shoe. It was a comfortable shoe that you fit in.
So as we built our business and we fell in love with the process, the people, and the helping, we're just like, we got to do this more. We got to do this full time and see how many more people we can help.
And from the time that you were working before that and having a full-time job till now, how is the process?
It's been stressful. A lot of ups and downs. Right. I'm not gonna lie. We did take on a lot more than just going full time in real estate. Right? We took on the office. We took on extra expenses. We took on responsibility of other agents. So we have our handfuls. On top of that, we had flips and other stuff going on at the same time. So it was a lot.
But
we're sorting through it. We're still.
But you did it. You did it. You're alive. You're still kicking. You're still feeding the children. You're still married. A lot of things can happen.
Well,
I know that.
We'll see.
Trust me. If you meet my husband, and I'm sure you will eventually, he's going to tell you the same thing. It's not easy, but you love the process. And you're still here, and nothing happened. And I know with persistence and perseverance, you're going to continue to happen and double it and triple it. It's just getting the process down.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think you just shifting the focus as to go down our agenda.
Go ahead.
I think we've covered pretty much in terms of what makes you stand out from others. And that's really focused on service. Really focus on people first, which is fantastic. It's a great way to keep that referral pipeline filled. But in terms of marketing, tell us what's working for you these days. I know you opened the Brooklyn branch here 3 months ago now?
Yes, August. August. Well, really, honestly, September, October, November. Yeah, 3 months. It's a struggle.
Yes. So how's that going?
I feel your struggle. Oh my gosh, it is crazy. I have a lot of people coming in that are homeless. Again, it's the presence of serving others that are in such need in Brooklyn. But at the same time, I drive into Brooklyn and I see all these beautiful buildings being built. It's like money. It's like live. It's like adrenaline for me. I'm like so excited. I'm like, it's like it actually made me younger. I feel younger. Even though I'm exhausted by the time I get home, I feel younger because.
Yeah, but you feel re-energized. Right? It gives you that little jolt of energy.
We haven't, we're starting, we got a lease almost completed. We've got the process of the Section 8s and helping all the people of the community, which is fantastic. So I'm excited for that process. It took 3 months to get to that process, getting into its rhythm. And listings, we're working on them. Have a listing out there. We're in the community. We're trying to we're going to do a lot of content. We're going to start doing the podcast in the new year, do some content in the certain areas of Brooklyn. So we're going to start speeding it up a little bit. It was just trying to get the process and I don't have agents there. I have agents that are coming in from all over, from Queens, from Westchester. I've got Michael, who's, God bless him. He puts up with me. He's retired already. This guy is nonstop every single day. Open those doors, close those doors. And I'm happy with that, so it is a process. And hopefully I see 2023 going to be blossoming. I pray for that. With his help, he's given me the strength to keep going. Because, you know, when I want to tackle something, I'm going to tackle it. I'm like a dog with a bone, like my pit bulls. I'm like a dog with a bone. I got it, and I just got to get the process in there. So it's a process.
So you kind of touched on it, but what's next for you? What are you working on now, you know, for 23, 24?
Well, 23 is definitely Brooklyn making that 50 million. That's my goal for the team, for that branch. That's my goal. It's a very big goal. If I get half of that, I'll be happy. But my goal, I always set my goals for like 2 years. And my goal before I took the broker of record was to actually start getting ready for my retirement. You know, I own properties, and I'm trying to acquire my portfolio so that I have, you know, my income coming in so I can retire for that moment. I would love to, you know, my goal is to live in Pennsylvania, where my children are, and have teach my children to have their business take over my business, and that's really my end goal. You know, it will be that.
That's awesome. I mean, you've put in your sacrifice, and you're still putting it in.
Yeah, I'll never stop. Don't
enjoy.
Yeah,
it,
no,
right?
I won't stop. I just want to enjoy, you know, my grandchildren, my future
enjoy.
grandchildren. I want to be able to, you know, go into the park.
Yeah. I think you touched on two things that I just want to highlight. One is that you invest in real estate. Yeah. And I think that's very, very important for anybody that's in the business. Yes. If you're going to sell real estate, you should be in it.
Oh, my God. Yes.
And it's a
100%.
crucial part to give you that credibility that you need. But also, it secures your future. As an agent, if you're not selling, you're not making any money. Right. So you need to have something in your back pocket to rely on in another year.
Absolutely. And I know you two, my two men of Westchester, my moguls. I know you're very, very quiet and very reserved, but you have done a lot since you have come out of high school together as friends.
Yes.
A team of making money, having your portfolio is impeccable and amazing, and fixing and flipping.
Thank you.
You know, I've gone through my own, you know, my time, so I know how hard it is. But you started from the get-go, from high school. This is what we're gonna do. Blah blah blah. I love that. I love hearing that story because that's important. You cannot be a taxi driver. This is what I call the agents that are taxi drivers, and then they take their money and they put it into fancy clothes, a new car. That's not it. If you're not investing in in your wealth, in your life for your retirement, because you know we're 1099, you know, yes, we can write off and everything else, but you need to invest in your retirement. Here I'm going to be 60. You know, I'm close to being 60, guys. And I should be.
Yeah, a couple of houses is a good retirement.
Yeah, exactly. And having that rental income coming in, and you know, that's so important. And these agents do that. They need to do it. Absolutely. My girls have, my two girls who are going to take over my company. One is a hedge fund day trader. Manager. And the other one is now, you know, a teacher. She was a teacher, and she's now working for a real estate attorney in Pennsylvania. So I've got them groomed. They're in my corp. We're doing what we got to do to mold that situation so that if, God forbid, COVID was an eye awakening, if I should drop dead, I needed everything in place, you know? So it's theirs. You know, I worked all these years for that. But yes, these agents are smart. Let's see. Mm-hmm. He better get out of here, like Helmsley. Leona Helmsley did that. Read up on it. All that money went to the dog.
Again, Felix, you don't have kids yet, but when you do, that legacy component, it's really what focuses me. Is that knowing that after a while, after I pass, my girls won't have to work if they don't want to, right? They'll work because they want to, but they won't need to, right? And being able to leave that to them, it's one of the key things that I focus on.
That's the reason why we do what we do. I don't have any kids yet, but everything is with.
What are you waiting for? You better
plans.
get on that. Get that nonsense out. I tell this to my son. I'm like, five something years. I'm like, I need to be a grandmother. I can't drop dead yet. I need to be a grandparent. Jeez.
Yeah. But and then just one more thing before we get to our final four questions here. One more thing that I want to highlight is that from what I heard, you're sort of doing the same thing that we're going through right now in our branch in terms of taking advantage of the slower time in the season to really work on process to get you set up for success once things pick up. A lot of agents that I hear, and this is something that we picked up from the Master Clan with Sharon, a lot of agents focus on leads and they see the leads, getting more leads as being the ultimate end goal. When really they don't have the processes and the tools in place to actually handle them. Right. So it doesn't matter how many leads you get, how many people walk into your door, if you can serve them at a high level.
You'll be looking at them like, okay, what do I do? What's the steps? You can't do that. You need to know the process. Absolutely. All
right, so let's start wrapping it up. It's been a great conversation. Well, let's get to our Empire 4, the 4 questions that we ask everyone at the end of
every week.
If you could start all over again, what would you do differently?
Oh man, that's a tough one. If I had to start all over again, not allowing the distractions of the naysayers get in my head.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah, well, when I started wanting to leave my job, there was definitely a lot of that going on.
Awesome.
Trust me, I know.
All right. Question number 2. For agents that are feeling stuck, what advice would you have for them? Especially in today's market and in the current year.
Another tough one. That would be to not give up, get your process down, because it's important. You have to surround yourself with people that complete you. It's very important. And if you have those people that complete you, you'll get the process done efficiently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect sense to me.
Oh boy. Ooh, I feel like the light is on my head here.
So, so now, for experienced agents that are out there looking to take their business to the next level, what piece of action or advice would you give them?
To the next level?
Yeah.
Okay. Branding. New York is lacking the branding that we need to get to the next level. I've been saying this probably for a good year, right? We need to do it. We need to do it. We need to do it. I'm not going to say names of other tech. I almost did it. I'm not going to say names of other states, but we need to step it up. We need to step it up. And that is important. That is definitely the thing, that branding yourself. And I see you guys, I see you all, I see my top producers starting to do that, which I love. And I love it.
It just takes time. But
it does. It takes time. It takes money.
Definitely trying. That's why we're here.
It's a lot. But I know we're going to succeed. 2023 is going to be New York.
And to the branding point, like you just said, it does take time. So that's something that if you're working on branding, it's not going to be overnight. It will be several months of hard work, building that library of content, of credibility, for that to then, flourish over time.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. And then in terms of our last question for the day, Celinda.
What is it?
What resource would you say has brought you the most value in your career? Whether a book, a mentor, a podcast, where have you drawn the most value that we can share with other agents?
Oh, well, the one person that I have consistently listened to throughout the years, and I think I've gotten old with him, is Robert Kiyosaki. He is the man, and I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me, but he is the one who puts it straight out, black and white, and that's how I am. No gray in between, black and white. Infinite income. He is the man with Cash Flow, that book. He is, what was the other one, the popular one, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. When I was given that book from my mother, God rest her soul, she was a director of nurses in Manhattan, used to take me by the hand on summer vacations in Manhattan. I used to see that woman walk around dictating, but he literally, when she gave me that book to read, that man molded me, and I still listen to him. Who else? Prayerful, TD, Jake, my preacher, Oprah. I mean, those are, but that's who I go for.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think Robert Kiyosaki is a common theme that we see all around. Rich Dad, Poor Dad,
I love that.
Cash Flow Quality.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. You know that game? I want to get that game. What was the game that he came up with? I want to get that.
Cash Flow Quality.
Is it? That's what it's called? Cash Flow.
Yeah, I actually have it for the girls.
I know. I need to
They're
get
a little
that
young
for
to play with it, but eventually.
My grandchildren. I don't have grandchildren, but my daughter Adriana is getting married this year, and she has her future husband has a child, and she's like my grandchild. That's why I say my granddaughter. But I want to get that for her for Christmas. Yeah.
Definitely should.
Mold them.
Awesome,
And start from early on. Mold them.
Yeah. Well, this has been fantastic, but don't want to keep you too much longer.
Thank you. It was wonderful. This was quick and painless. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. For anybody that wants to reach out, connect with you, learn more about you, where can they find you?
Well, they can find me at CelindaIaboni.com, Brooklyn for sure, in Manhattan. But I'm definitely going to do a podcast coming in the new year. I think we're going to call it Los Viejitos in Brooklyn, or Getting Real in Brooklyn, something like that. So you'll see me. I don't know.
Awesome. And we'll have your social handles in the show notes for anybody that wants to follow you.
Thank you. That would be wonderful. Yeah. On Facebook, Twitter. What else? Instagram,
TikTok.
Yeah.
All the
above. It was great. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It was beautiful.
Awesome. Thanks, Celinda. Really
many blessings. Many blessings in the new year. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Selling Empire Podcast. Want more of the best real estate tips, tricks, secrets, and insights to level up your game? Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss the next episode. While you're at it, help us spread the word by leaving a rating and review. And we will see you back here next time for the next episode of The Selling Empire.